Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and we just got finished playing a lot of hours with the new update. We've seen a lot of the meta and what is being played at top 1000 legend. We hovered between like 1000 and like 500-ish today, and we played a lot of games. So these are the decks that are standing out and seemingly the best so far with the new patch. Long behold, Arcane Hunter still really good, even though the Starstrong Bro went down to 5 attack. Most of the time this is like 3 mana anyway. It's 3 or 4 mana for 10 damage, so it's just insane. A new card that's really cool is Celestial Shot. So this is 3 mana, deal 3. Your next spell has +2 spell damage. So this synergizes with literally everything in the deck, whether it be Conjured Arrow, Ricochet Shot, Arcane Shot, Star Power. I mean, you can just have a lot of uses for this card. It's really good. And this is one of the new lists that I see that it was playing it. Some spicy inclusions is the Prison of Yogg-Saron, because if you run out of steam, or you just need that late game burst, or you just need the Hail Mary, it's there for you. And then of course you just run Yogg-Saron, because most of the cards in this deck are spells. So being able to play Yogg, get a handful of attendees, or be able to take your opponent's minions or clear your opponent's board is just really good. So Arcane Hunter still very good after the nerfs, and a solid play if you're already playing it. So moving to the next deck, which is Thaddius Warlock. This is not a deck I would like to see be good again, but it's popping up a lot. And the reason being is they changed symphonies. So instead of drawing the most expensive spell in your deck, you just draw a minion. But if you just fill your deck with really powerful minions like Loken, Darkhand, Flesh Behemoth, Sargeras, Thad, most of the time you're going to draw a big minion anyway. You know what I'm saying? They just play like the old big version, and then they can just get the discounts on the big minions anyway. You also still have the slime thing where you can discard Flesh Behemoth or Thaddius, and then you just go ahead and play the Shallow Grave, and you have the Forge of Wills. It's just another super Barnes Warlock. It's really good. It sucks that this is like what people turn to after the Symphony got nerfed, because this is like just the same deck but just slightly different. It's even more annoying because it's even more high rolly with the slime. But yeah, Warlock is really good right now, and it can just win. It's just an insane deck. Heading to Mech Rogue. So because everybody is playing Warlocks and everybody's playing the new Druid deck, I wouldn't even call it new Jaylor Druid, but it's a Druid deck that's a bit slower. Mech Rogue is making a comeback. A lot of people playing this. A lot of people also playing like the Miracle version with tentacles and the location. I found the Mech version to just be good. Even though the Coppertail did get nerfed, it's still like a really good card. You know what I mean? It's one card out of a deck that's just really nice. You still see a ton of this on ladder. However, this is my version. It's super spicy because it runs the Mothership with 1 Lab Constructor with 1 Illusionist. So what you can do is normally you get from the scrap heap, and then you get Reborn, and then you're going to be able to get cheap Motherships, and then you can Reborn Mothership, and then you can duplicate Mothership to make 1,000,000 Motherships. So it's just really nice. The deck, if you play it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's super fun. It's a little twist on the Mech Rogue. If you just like the normal Gen Pop list, that's fine too. But this list is substantially more fun, and I enjoyed it a lot when I played it. So Mech Rogue still really good right now, and punishes, again, all those slower decks that people are playing. So the next deck is actually a new deck. And with all the Death Knight changes, they changed like the rune costings. So now you're able to play in the triple Unholy. You're able to play the Down with the Ship. This used to cost have a blue, and no longer is a blue. And the, where is it? The Tomb Trader. This used to have a blue as well. So now you're able to play the entire Plague package inside of Triple Unholy. And Triple Unholy was already, in my opinion, really good. So you have now a whole new package, which adds even better stuff to the deck. So what we have here is we have the Triple Unholy stuff with the Lord Marrowgar and all that normal stuff. Then we also have the Ignis package with the Eulogizer and Ignis, and we want to do this because the Forge, of course. And then also it gives us corpses for Lord Marrowgar, which is also nice. We only run 1 Grave Strength because this deck had a draw issue. So I ended up running the Magatha Bane of Music. So we only play 5 spells in the total. So that evens out pretty nice. Normally you give your opponent 1 spell max, if any. Running 2 Grave Strength and giving your opponent 1 is just not good, and you don't want to do that. Instead of running the Cockstrider and the Spider, I opted to go Nerubian Visor because it gives you spells that can really come back, like the Scourge and any sort of deal 3 or just draw cards. And then you also run School Teacher. Cockstrider requires other minions to be good, and then the Spiders requires Cockstrider to be good. So I would rather just play Nerubian, which is always good, and School Teachers, which is, again, pretty much always good. So I'm removing 2 cards that are situationally good with just 2 cards that are generally just most of the time good. So, and then of course we run Sir Finley because we want to draw the Hell Yeah in a lot of matchups, or Ignis, or whatever you're looking for. So I found like Sir Finley in this deck, it was actually really, really nice because sometimes you just have a dead hand. You either draw like, you know, your Chained Guardians and you have no plagues, or you have like a handful of just garbage like Grave Strength and you don't need Grave Strength right now, or draw, you just need to get rid of it and need to draw good things. Sir Finley allows you to do that. So Sir Finley ended up being really, really nice for the deck, and the deck was one of our best performers today. We played this the most, and it was really, really nice. I think this is definitely going to be one of the new best decks that come from the new patch, because playing triple Unholy with Plagues, I mean, it just seems good to me. Moving to the second to last deck, that's going to be Control Warrior. In my opinion, Control Warrior, even though Sanitize did go to 5 mana, and the weapon only gets 3 armor now instead of 4, still really good. That does exactly what it did before. It's just just ever so slightly less good. I mean, the 3 armor doesn't really matter too much because it's literally just a 1 armor difference over 3 swings. So it's 3 armor total. However, there are some breakpoints with Odin, because before when you attacked with this, it would do 7. Now it does 6. So there is a little breakpoints. This is my warrior list. I like Dirty Rats right now because a lot of people are playing OTK decks, like the Druid deck, which we'll cover right after this, and the Mage deck. So if you're playing people playing OTK decks, you Dirty Rat out their win con, whether it's Jaylor or Tony, and then you can just win the game from there. This is the warrior deck we've been playing and doing really well with. So taking a look at the Jaylor Druid, this is the last deck. A lot of people are playing it. There's a lot of different renditions to the deck, but this is the one that we have. The core of it's the same. You want to play a nub, then you play Jaylor, and then you play Tony, or you play Tony and then Jaylor, depending on the matchup and how you want to do it. But either way, your board's immune. You take your opponent's deck, you give them no cards. Your opponent can kill your board. You win the game. There's also versions that play like Ignis as well as the Jaylor package. I found that like we could just run the hero power package with Fierce Spirits and Groovy Cats, and it kind of does the same thing as Ignis, but we can do stuff in the middle of the game as well instead of just depending on high rolling the Ignis weapon. But being able to embrace the nature into Nourish is super fun. And then also Mosher is really good with Jaylor because he's immune, and then when you attack, it's a full board clear. So if you end up wanting to play the Attorney, which is the 2 mana guy, you can't really play Embrace because that's a choose one, and you don't want to make him immune and also silence him. So you kind of have to pick and choose with what you're going to do with this Druid deck. Like I said, there's a bunch of different builds right now, but the core of it's the Jaylor and the Tony. The rest of it's just ramping to get there, and how you get there, you know what I'm saying, is what changes. But besides that, those are the top decks right now. This is what I'm seeing at top 1,000. If there's anything else out there that I didn't mention or you think is worthy, feel free to put that in the comment section below. Always looking for some spicy decks on the rise. And with that, best of luck out there. As always, I'm Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.